this is Rebecca and it is already the 7th week of term. I've just dragged myself out the library after spending a good few hours studying beam theory and how ball bearings sink in jelly to share with you my Oxvlog today. And I'd like to talk to you guys about interviews, because they're actually coming up pretty soon in 2 weeks. Interviews at Oxbridge are generally a very unique experience because they're not testing what you know, but instead how you learn and what you have the potential to learn and understand. So I think that can be very daunting, especially coming from A-level, where you are taught with such a set syllabus where you know all the answers, and what they're really trying to probe and get out of you is how you think and the potential that you could have in their college. The number one thing I would recommend all applicants to do is to practice communicating their subject. So whether that is having practice interviews with some of your school teachers or just talking out loud to anyone, having that practice actually articulating your thoughts and stringing them together in a high-pressured situation like an interview is really valuable. Interviews are supposed to be a two-way conversation, so if you don't quite understand or didn't catch a question that the interviewer may have asked you, do not feel bad for asking them to repeat themselves or maybe state it in a different way to clarify what they are asking. In the end, if you don't quite understand the question, there's no point in trying to make something up, because you are talking to people who are experts in their respective fields. So far, all the advice I've given has been pretty vague and general, but for science interviews in particular, there are set skills that it is worthwhile practicing before going to interviews. So for any sort of physical science degree like physics, chemistry, engineering, materials, some very basic skills that you will definitely be tested on are your maths skills. So things like knowing how to sketch graphs, trig identities, basic calculus, so differentiation, integration, and those are all things you can practice beforehand. If you want any more subject-specific advice about a materials interview, I've actually made a video on my own channel about it that I filmed during and just after my interviews here. Simon and Jamie, the original Oxvloggers, also have some fantastic videos out there about interviews, which I really enjoyed watching before mine actually, because if nothing else they really help to just psych you up mentally and motivate you to just go into interviews and enjoy it, because in the end it is quite an enjoyable process. Something a lot of people aren't aware of is during interviews there is actually so much free time, because for example, you may be here for 4 days and could only have 2 half-an-hour interviews. So what I would say is just enjoy your time in Oxford, because you're getting free accommodation, free food in college, which is probably really good if it's anything like the food we have here, and it's just pretty much a little holiday off school. So when you don't have interviews, why not go outside and explore the amazing city of Oxford, or just chill in the JCR and get to speak to and meet a load of new people. I know when I was here last year, and I think it's the same this year, there was the Christmas market just outside my college, so it was really lovely actually getting to visit that. I would definitely recommend bringing a good book to read or some schoolwork along to interviews, as you will have so much free time. Alright, that's my 2 cents on interviews. If you have any questions, as usual, feel free to comment below. Again, I have been very scatterbrained in this video, as it is currently 1:06 AM. I know this is bad, but I really wanted to get something out there, because this is my last vlog for Michaelmas term, which is the autumn-winter term, which is very bizarre, isn't it? I'm going to be staying here actually for 9th week in Oxford, as I am helping out with interviews myself. So if you are at Trinity and see me, feel free to say hi. I don't bite, I don't think. I think I'm definitely going to film another video in 9th week sharing what I've actually done this term. My first term in my first year here at uni has been absolutely crazy intense, so I feel like it'll be good to get another video out after everything has ended so I can reflect on everything that has happened. Okay, so that's all for today's vlog. I'd just like to say before I go, Merry Oxmas. If you don't know what Oxmas is, it's Oxford's version of Christmas on the 25th of November, since we're not here during Christmas. I hope you all have fantastic weeks. Goodbye. This is life in Oxford. Midnight chemistry, Oxmas parties.